to Florida, huh?
Ah, we just bought a new place down there.
I know. We were looking at the brochure.
What? Why, are you thinking of moving?
No, not really. Because if you are, you shouldn't. There's nothing available in that development.
Are you telling me there's not one condo available in all of Del Boca Vista?
That's right. They went like hotcakes.
How'd you get yours?
Got lucky.
Are you trying to keep us out of Del Boca Vista?
Frag out!
Hello and welcome back to a little bit of a different video here on the channel today. We are going to be doing ourselves a FIFA 18 experiment. Now, you may have seen a little bit in the intro of what I've set up here, maybe got a little bit of an inkling, but this is what we're going to do here. We are in the MLS, of course. We are with Orlando City. Everybody loves to retire to Florida. And what I've done here is pulled some of the big marquee players from around the world that are getting on in age, and eventually they are going to retire. We've slipped them all here into Orlando City, so let's have a quick look at how the squad is looking, and then I'll explain a little bit further what's happening in this experiment. So we've got Ibrahimovic and Eto up front, obviously aging strikers. Iniesta there in the cam role. Ribery is out on the left-hand side, Robin on the right. We've got Dani Alves, Pepe, Bazagli, Holbas, and Yaya Toure in the central defensive midfield position. And of course, you couldn't go past Buffon as the #1 goalkeeper, and he is captaining this side here in Orlando City. Substitute-wise, we've got Terry, Casillas, Defoe, Schneider, Cerna. We've also got Torres, Mota, and Carrick. And I've just kept a couple of the older players, although Yotan's only 26, from the Orlando City, just for a little bit of depth, just in case we get some injuries for these old men on the pitch. Right, so what are we going to do here today? Let's have a look. Right, so if you sort the squad out by age, obviously Buffon is the oldest at 39, Terry 36, and we've basically got all players here that are 33, Holbas and Iniesta are 32. You know, they're getting on. They're getting ready to get into the golden years of their careers. And, well, to be fair, if we have a look at some of these ones like Terry, he is retiring already at the end of the season. So this is what this experiment is. We know that we have a superior team at the moment here in the MLS. It's a 5-star team with the current lineup. But what you'll know from FIFA is as the season goes on, these older players start losing rating very, very quickly. They deteriorate as they get older. That is fair enough. They're going to come back. They're going to get pulled back to the fold, and they'll probably be on level with the other MLS sides within 1 or 2 seasons, and these players are going to retire. So what I want to do here is simulate a couple of seasons. We'll keep an eye on what's happening around the traps and see where these regens end up, see if they bolster other teams, and see if Orlando City can maybe go 3 or 4 seasons undefeated in the league. Hopefully this is a little bit interesting, something different to try on the channel. But let's get into simulating. We'll check in the January point and see how the players have been going. I'm assuming at this stage that Orlando will be top of the stage. Right, so obviously the MLS starts at a different time of the season. We are here in February 2017, so we've got some time to develop. So what we'll do here, how long does their season go for? That is the main question. It looks like it is a long one, all the way through to October. So that's the 10th month, the 2nd month. Let's go halfway through. Let's go to July 1st, and then we'll see where Orlando is sitting.
A few moments later.
Right, 1st of July, let's see how Orlando have been traveling. Well, top goal scorer at the moment is Robin for Orlando with 17 goals. David Villa there in 2nd for New York City with 12. Ribery's got himself 6. And Ibrahimovic with 5. Okay, assist-wise, we've got Ribery, Robin, and Schneider all up and about. So things looking good here for Orlando. You'd assume that they would be in this first season. Clean sheets, though, it's Casillas with 5 and Buffon with 3. The leader is Blake from Philadelphia Union with 8. But where is Orlando sitting on the table at probably the halfway point? Let's take a look. So at the halfway stage, Orlando are absolutely dominating the Eastern Conference. 13 wins, 5 draws. They've got the 1 loss, 45 goals with only 13 scored, a goal difference of 32. And they are really running it out here. The Western Conference is being sort of fought out between Seattle, Portland, Sporting, and Real Salt Lake. So let's get through to the end of this first season, see if Orlando can take their first title, and then we'll see, obviously, what the real idea behind this experiment is. I want to see what happens and where these players go, because this season finishes different to when the regens normally come through in a, you know, standard English career mode that you would normally probably be doing most of the time. So with their season time being different, do those players regen back into their own side? Do they go to a different MLS side? Do they go to the free agency list? We'll find out. Let's get to the end of the season. Right, we have reached the 29th of October. There is obviously still the final system in play here. Let's go and have a look at how we finished off the regular season and check out the statistics of our players for season number 1. Well, Robin's picked himself up 22 goals for the season. DeVoe's chipped in with 11, Ribery with 10. So we've scored quite a few goals here by the looks of things. Assists-wise, Robin with 9, Ribery with 7. So some good attack off the wings there. Schneider with 4, probably playing in the camera role. And clean sheets, well, Buffon has 8 to his name. Casillas with 5. So they've spread the load there. But where did we finish in this season? Well, we've smashed it here in the Eastern Conference. That was to be expected the first season. Don't even worry about that. 78 points, 75 goals. But, you know, the team that we have is absolutely incredible. It is on the decline, though. If we switch through to the tournament tree, we still haven't got our players here. We might do some live sims through to the final and see for how Orlando is traveling. But let's go and have a quick look at the squad, see some statistics on how many games they played and what ratings they're currently at. Right, so Buffon played 21 games, Casillas played 13, Eto'o picked up 12 games. Jermaine Defoe played the most up front with 32, Robin with 34 games there on the right-hand side. Even some of the reserves. Will Johnson got himself 3 games. Carrick chipped in with 9. So, I mean, we got a decent strike force. Wesley Sneijder playing 24 matches. Danny Alves 24. Holbus played 32. And you can see there simulation-wise, well, Holbus is definitely going to play the most games because he's the only recognised left-back, and on simulation, they will play players in their particular positions. So you can see if we have a cam, then that would be why Schneider would pick up most of the games. Let's go now and check out their ratings. Right, so we'll take a quick look at the stats here. Buffon's gone down 2 to an 87. Casillas dropped down 2 to an 81. Alves down 2 to an 82. Cerner is retiring, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write down a Croatian right back in the MLS, and we'll see if we can find his regen. Pepe's down 2 to 84, but Zagli down 1 to 83. Terry dropped to a 75. Jonathan Spector is from Orlando. Holbus dropped down 1 to 77. Motta's down to 79. Carrick dropped 2 to 78. Robbins down 2 to an 86. Toure 81. He's dropped down 2. Iniesta's an 86. Dropped down 1. Ribery dropped 1 to an 84. Schneider an 81. Eto'o dropped a couple to 79. Ibrahimovic is down to an 86. Defoe to a 79. And Torres to a 79. All right, let's get through the final stages of this. And then we'll get into the new season, see where the regens have gone, and see if Orlando can do it all again. Right, conference semi-finals here against Philadelphia Union, and it's a 2-2 draw. Robin on the board once again, but didn't come through unscathed. Well, second leg of the semi-finals, it's 2-2 on aggregate. We come through with a 3-0 victory. Schneider, Robin, and Danny Alves with goals. Right, it's Atlanta United in the conference final, and it's a 1-1 draw away from home. Ibrahimovic with the goal. And now we have the home leg, and it's a 2-0 victory. Eto'o picks up a knock, Ribery and Ibrahimovic with goals. And now it's time for the MLS final. Orlando and Colorado. Ribery gets a goal in the 12th minute. We'll do a full live sim in this one. Holbus chips in with a goal in the 23rd. It's 2-0 in favour of Orlando. We just knew, there was no doubt that Orlando would smash through this first season, but they are already on the decline. We've already gone from a 5-star team to a 4.5-star team, and that is going to fall away very, very quickly. This is an absolute demolition. 4-0. And that is a big win. So Orlando take all titles in their first season. It's a 4-0 win there in the MLS final. The US Open Cup, they've won 3-0 over Real Salt Lake. The preseason doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, we knew it was going to be brutal. But the key is here is another couple of seasons. So let's get into season number 2. We'll go look for the regens that are in Cerner, Terry, and Bazagli. We'll see where they end up. Maybe they'll get put on the Orlando lineup. I'm not too sure. Let's get to season 2.
20 minutes later.
Right, January 1st, we're back into season number 2. Let's have a quick look at how the squad is looking. Obviously, the players are starting to drop. Now, we lost 3 players. None of those came back to Orlando, so our squad is looking a little bit short. A couple of injuries here, and we could be in real trouble. But let's go and have a look at the 3 regens, the Terry, the Cerna, and the Bazagli regens, and where they are and what they're doing with their lives. Right, so we've got 3 players here. We've got Tom Margetts. He is the Terry regen, and his contract was up, so he went to the free agency list. Immediately, we can go and make a play for him. Let's just approach to sign him. We'll get him back. Yep, fair. Good. Sweet. Right, and the other 2 is Cerna. It's Peter Kalakanik. Or I don't know how you say his last name. We are scouting him. Obviously, he's only just joined the club. He's joined Atlanta. And Favali is the Bazagli regen. We can have a look. 6'1" there and a 5'11". So we'll keep an eye on them. We'll get a scout report back on them. And maybe we can make a play for them next season. Hopefully, we've got enough players to get us through this season. Let's get simulating through to July 1st and see how Orlando finish in this first half of the season.
12 seconds later.
Right, July 1st, we are back, and let's have a look here. Robin, again, 11 goals. He has been a big scorer here in the MLS since moving over for retirement here. He's got himself a nice little condo down in Florida, but he's the only one on the list, so that is very interesting. Assist-wise, Danny Elves has 4 assists. Okay, so assisting from right back, Ibrahimovic and Defoe with 2 assists apiece. And clean sheets, it's Buffon with 10, Casillas with 2. Well, we take a quick look at the Eastern Conference, and we are on top of the table, but only by 6 points here over Atlanta United. I think one of our regens went there. Cerna, maybe? Okay, things a little bit more interesting. We haven't scored as many goals, but we have been better defensively by the looks of things. Let's have a quick look at some player ratings, see how the dropping is going with the age. Right, so Buffon is 87. His contract's expiring. I will have to try and renew some of these. Casillas is retiring at the end of the season, and his contract's expiring in 6 months, so he will end up on the free agency list. Danny Alves is in the same boat, 80 gone down 1. Pepe will need a new contract. Margetts has only gone up 1 to a 64. Holbus is retiring at the end of the season. Okay. Motta is retiring at the end of the season. Carrick is retiring at the end of the season. Okay. Robin's injured. He's got a dislocated shoulder. He's still top goal scorer, but he's out for 5 weeks. Touré's gone down to a 79. Iniesta's injured as well, an 83 gone down 2. Okay. Ribery, 82 gone down 2, still kicking along. Schneider's 72. Eto's contract's expiring, and so is Ibrahimovic. They are still going. Defoe and Torres. Okay. I'll get those contracts sorted out, and then we'll push on to the second half of the season.
Next minute.
Right, so we are at the end of the season, just before the next playoffs. And, well, Robin's picked up 14, but he's been outdone there. Maybe we've fallen away. Eto got himself 10. Schneider with 8. Assist-wise, no, Orlando are falling away. So you can see these older players are deteriorating. Eto, Alves both with 4. And clean sheets. Well, Buffon with 17. Looks like he might have kept us into contention. Let's see where we finished up the regular season, and then we'll move into the playoffs. So Orlando ended up losing 3 games in the Eastern Conference, but we still finished on top by 10 points, taking it out over Toronto. And FC Dallas have taken out the Western Conference. Now, I think Bazagli might have gone there as the regen. I mean, they're still probably only low-rated, 60, 65s. But that's not to say that they can't help out here in the MLS. So let's punch through now. We're into the tournament, and we have Columbus Crew in the quarters. Right, we've got the conference semi-final, and it's a 1-1 draw. Alves has picked up an injury. Right, second leg, and it's a 4-0 victory. Robin with 4 goals. Time for the conference final. We've got Toronto. It's a 1-1 draw. We keep getting these draws away from home. And can Orlando get through the home leg? They can. It's a 2-0 victory. Robin and Ibrahimovic with goals. Right, it is time for the final. Robin straight into the action with a goal in the first minute. We're taking on the Vancouver Whitecaps here. And, well, I mean, the boys are getting old. They're getting on in age. Robin, though, isn't missing a beat, and he's got himself 2. They're down to 10 men with a red card. Ribery screams through with a goal in the 47th. And Orlando are going to get the job done here. Ribery, Schneider, everyone's putting in goals for fun here against Vancouver. But I've just got a feeling that season number 3 will be a little bit different story for Orlando. So let's take a look at the current squad, how it is at the moment. Buffon hasn't missed a beat. He's stayed at 87. Casillas retiring. He's still a 78. Alves retiring. He's to a 79. Pepe's dropped to an 81. Jonathan Spector was already here, but with the loss of Bazagli and Terry, he came in. He is down by 2. Margits is up by 2 to a 65. Holbus is retiring, 74. Carrick is retiring at 75. Motta retiring at 75. We are going to lose a lot of players. Contracts expiring here. I'm going to let these roll out as well. We'll see what happens. It's another experiment within the experiment. Ian Robbins down to an 83. Toure a 77. Iniesta an 82. Yotun will be leaving the club along with Will Johnson. Ribery is an 81 down 3. Schneider a 78 down 3. Eto'o a 76 down 3. Ibrahimovic is an 83 down 3. Defoe a 76 down 2. And Torres a 76 down 3. So our strike force remains intact. We'll keep Buffon, but we're going to lose a little bit of our midfield depth. Let's see if FIFA gives us some of these regens or if we have to go and find them. We'll be back at the start of season number 3.
2 hours later.
Right, here we are, start of season number 3, and some interesting things have happened here in this career mode. It looks like our normal players are in here, but I didn't get any messages from the board to see they signed any players. The game's just automatically gone. Can't even get a word out. Sala, this guy here, Bode, who, well, a Hungarian at 32 years of age. That's a decent pickup. Maybe he wanted to retire to Florida. And a no-face man in Valverde, a 28-year-old Bolivian. So they've just automatically been added to the squad. We didn't get any messages or nothing like that. And unfortunately, none of the regen players have been put on our list. So, yeah, that's interesting. They just decided to sign up players. I wonder what kind of contracts they're on. Right, so Daniel Bode is 32 years of age and he's been signed up on a 5-year contract. Thanks, EA. I really wanted a 32-year-old Hungarian at my team here in Orlando for 5 years. Are you serious? I mean, surely there should be something where the board says, look, we need to sign some players to fill the roster, or I don't know, maybe give me the regen players that I'm losing for retirement. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Okay, fair enough. Thanks very much for the players. Salah's been signed on a 3-year deal. Okay, fair enough. Valverde on a 4-year deal. Okay. Well. Okay, so Buffon is going to be retiring at the end of the season. Pepe's still sticking around. Still Robin. Iniesta. Toure is retiring. Ribery retiring. Torres retiring. Defoe retiring. Ibrahimovic retiring. And Eto'o retiring. So I think we need to go into season number 4 because we want to see what these strikers come back like. I know you guys like regens. So, let's go and look at the current regens though. Okay, so we can go after the 2 former players, which is the Cerner regen. So we'll just put in delegate to buy here. We'll just throw that out on the table and we'll go after the Bazagli regen as well. We'll just stick the delegate. See what happens there. Okay, so the Casillas regen is Saul Pereira Cajudo. He is at DC United. De Silva is the Alves regen. At right back, he's gone to Colorado. Now we have Dimitris Kone is the Holbas regen, so we'll get him in. Let's just offer him, oh, I don't know, 6 grand. 60? No. We'll start him at 7. Okay, what else have we got here? We've got Camigliano, or whatever. I think this is the Motta regen on the free agents list, but it could also be Casata. So I'm just going to wait for the reports to come back because taking a look at them differently, well, I think Casata might be the regen for Motta. Then we have Anthony Bingham, who is the Carrick regen, so we're going to delegate him a signing. We'll offer him the 8k a week. Yep, no worries. Don't go higher than the whatever. Don't even care. Just need to get them into the club. We need some depth. Okay, so that is all of those taken care of. That's all the regens floating around. Done. Alright, so just quickly, I've pulled in the Cerner regen. We've got the Terry regen and we've got the Holobas regen. They're all sitting in there in the starting lineup now. We've also got the Carrick regen and the Bazagli regen. So let's get simulating through to July 1st. See how the boys are going. The team is starting to decline, but these regens should start growing fairly quickly. And will they be able to counterbalance? That is the question. Let's go.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
Right, so it's July 1st. Let's have a look here. This is season number 3, of course. Ibrahimovic, our top scorer, with 7. Iniesta and Eto'o have both chipped in with 6. But Orlando, not the domineering side that they were in season number 1, of course. Assist-wise, Ribery has 5. Robin with 3. And clean sheets, well, Buffon has 10. And he's our only keeper at the club, so I guess if he gets injured, we might be in a little bit of strife. So taking a look at the standings halfway through the season here in the Eastern Conference, it's Orlando City, but we are only up by 1 point over Toronto. Things have been pegged right back. These players are getting old. They're dropping off the face of the earth. They're retiring to a nice little condo, maybe doing a little bit of fishing there in Florida, maybe visiting Disneyland or Disney World, whichever one it is down there. I don't know. I'm not from America. But Orlando City still have the lead. But they are on the decline, and, well, there's probably a gap there between the regens chipping in and getting the job done. Let's get through to the end of the season and see how the team is looking.
Nick Minute.
Right, it is the end of the 3rd season, just before the playoffs. I think we'll call it here at the end of this one. Just really an experiment to see what happens with these retired players. So, Ibrahimovic finished with 11 goals, but Atlanta look to be dominating at the moment. Robin picked himself up 9 for the season. Schneider with 8. Let's go to assists, and it's Robin and Ibrahimovic with 7 apiece. Ribery with 5, okay, and clean sheets Buffon with 16. Has he done enough to keep us in the contest? Let's have a look at how we travelled in the regular season. Right, so Orlando still managing to win that title there. Buffon would have done a big job in that. We only lost the 3 games, 77 points. So eventually we did pull away from Toronto once again. The Western Conference, it was the Vancouver Whitecaps getting the job done with 3 points over Seattle. We move into the tournament tree and we've got DC United. Let's get through this, see how the players have finished up, and we'll call it quits here. Right, I'll skip through the other, the 2-leg stuff. This is the actual final. We've got Colorado Rapids. Ibrahimovic got the goal in the 8th. Azira comes back and gets us in the 20th. We come through. Kone, the regen of Holobas, gets the goal there in the 81st minute. And it's 3 from 3 for Orlando City. Right, let's take a look at the final squad. Now, Buffon's decided he's going to Villarreal when the transfer window opens. Okay, he's 41 years of age, deciding he's going to go to Spain now to, maybe he doesn't like his condo here in Florida. I don't know. Kalinic is up to 71. Pepe, he's going to Everton, so they've all signed pre-contracts even at this age. Well done, boys. I get 67. Okay, Vivali's a 68 gone up 2. Kone 68 gone up 3. Bingham's a 64 gone up 2. Robin's dropped down to an 80 now. Toure, he's retiring, 75. Iniesta, 79. Ribery, he's retiring at the end of the season at a 77. Schneider, a 75. Eto'o, a 73. He's going to Torino at 38 years of age. He's going back to Italy. How many teams has Eto'o played for? Ibrahimovic, he's retiring. He's dropped to an 80. Defoe retiring at 72. Torres retiring at 73. And that will pretty much cook the goose here at Orlando City. So we're going to finish up this experiment here. Hopefully that was, something a little bit intriguing, a little bit interesting. If you did enjoy that, do let me know by giving this video a thumbs up. And if you've got any other ideas or something that you'd like to see me have a crack at, leave me some comments down below. And if I do get some spare time, I will try and knock out a couple of extra of these weird experiments or trials or tests or anything you guys want to see. Put it down in the comments and we'll have a look at it and see if we can make some sort of video, something entertaining for you guys. That's where we'll leave it today. Check out everything else on the series on this channel. There's plenty there to watch, and we will see you in another video. I'm Sparring DK, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and you have a good one.